Hey, so what's going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what has happened here recently. So right now, what exactly is happening while I'm recording this? Well, I'll tell you this. Currently, at the time I'm recording this, I'm going to drop it at a later date, but it is December 18th, and it is 1:42 p.m. I just finished my final of my semester of my undergraduate study, anything like that. And I also went to work because, in case anyone did not know, I also worked on campus as well too the whole time I've been attending here. And I cleared out all of my stuff from my office, double-checked everything, triple-checked everything, turned in my keys, turned in my termination paperwork, and all that stuff. I'm completely done now. So what's next? Well, for anyone that doesn't know, because I've updated a little bit of stuff here and there, but I haven't, made huge videos about it. I'm going to be moving here soon. I got a job last month, so in November, I end up signing on with a company. I'm going to be moving, and then I'm going to be starting work in January here soon. But I want to talk to you about what all has happened here, hopefully as a little bit of an inspirational thing, but also just to let you know what's been going on behind the scenes, because I'd hinted in a previous video that it seems like everything is sweet and nice, but it really wasn't like that working up to it now. So let's go back a few months, right? And also you all will get to see a little bit of what I don't include here on the channel. So first off, I'll say the last few months have not been great. For the most part, they really haven't been that great, and I'm going to explain what's been going on and just get to some real talk on here. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I've had two different internships. I had a summer internship in the summer of 2014. It was in Illinois, it was with a company, and I just didn't really want the role I was in, and I didn't like the town I was in or anything like that, to be honest, so I did not go back. Now, this second internship I had was in a different town, a different company, all that stuff, and I went there, and, I enjoyed it. It was definitely something different, but I actually did not get invited back for another offer or anything like that, and I'm actually one of those people, I'm just going to be real with you all, I'm one of those people where I say, no matter what, if you like the company or don't like the company, if you're going after an internship, your goal is by the end of that internship that you need to get an offer from the company, and I didn't get an offer, and there were a few different reasons here or there. Some of them might have been on the company's front, some of them might have been on my front, and I'm not going to go into detail on all that, but unfortunately it didn't happen, so I guess, if you want to be quick and dirty with it, I might have failed that internship, I don't know, but they also told me, they said, hey, you did a pretty great job, it's just, there were a few other reasons with it as well, too. So as I said, I'm not the one to point fingers. There might have been faults with me, there might have been faults with the company, anything like that, but that was definitely different to me. And that also added on a level of stress that I was having, because what ended up happening was I was wanting that offer, I didn't get it, and guess what? I got out of there in August, and I was graduating in December. Now, I also lived in an apartment that was affiliated with my school here, or my university, and what that means is, as long as I am attending, so as long as I'm a student, whether it be a graduate student or an undergraduate student, that means that I am able to stay in this apartment. Because I did not have any plans to do a master's degree or to do any more classes or anything like that for the time being, my graduation date was December of 2015. And that meant the very last day I could have my apartment was going to be December 31st, 2015. That meant before then, I had to find a place that I was going to move to. And optimally, if I needed that, I also needed to find a place that I was going to work at, because I did not want to do an interim move, which would have meant that, I would have moved just for the sake of moving out of here until I found another place to actually move to for employment. So that's where this whole story begins here. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, our semesters are 16-week semesters. There are some universities that vary here and there, but ours are 16-week semesters. Now, this is quite early on for freshmen and even sophomores, but juniors and seniors should really know what they're doing. And by the 4th or 5th week, we start having the all-university career fair, which means that they are going to have employers there looking for interns, co-op positions, and full-time employment for upcoming graduate students for, the summer or anything like that, or January or whatever it is. So, for December graduates, they're wanting to hire people to work in January. For May graduates, they want people to get hired and work in June. And then, of course, for summer graduates, by September. So anything like that. And it depends, because you'll have some companies that one year they'll be looking for interns, and the next year they'll say, sorry, we're only looking for full-time employers. But point is, the first 4 weeks of class those are gone right there. You're doing your classes and everything. So you kind of have, unless you're preemptively looking online, which I was doing a little bit of, you have about a 12-week gap to look for your employment, maybe even 8 weeks to allocate, for moving and all that stuff. So that's what ends up happening right there. Now, by, week 5, week 4, whatever it is, when I was looking for, stuff at the career fair and everything, I knew several people that were working in companies at this time who'd graduated a semester before me or a year before me. So they were able to put in good words for me, which was great. I also knew people who had interned with previous companies who were going to be working for them later on and who were also working the career fair, so I had familiar faces. Plus, I did not know about this. I was actually a senior going in and a December graduate senior, and a lot of companies were really eager to jump on me, so I was not as worried about finding a job. But then this started happening. There were a lot of interviews I had. I was easily able to get interviews. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that's just how it was. I was easily able to get interviews. But a lot of these interviews didn't happen until later on. A lot of these interviews required a few follow-ups, and a lot of these people did not give me any type of follow-up answer. I would interview, and I did not hear anything. And that is something to me that really annoys me with many companies out there. Not only it shows a lack of caring, but just a lack of professionalism as well. If you are going to decline me, just call me up, just email me and say, we're sorry, we found other people for this position. Please come out, next year for this job opportunity. And I will take that much better than radio silence. And that's what a lot of these companies did. A few companies said no. Most companies did not give me any type of answer. And there were no companies that were giving me a yes. Of course, we all know that I did get a job, but I digress. This is what was going on here. So what happened, right? In September, I was busy looking, and I said, okay, probably by October, I'll get a job. I'll get an offer. I'll get something. October came and went. There was absolutely nothing. And I was getting tired. I was traveling. There was personal stuff going on in my life, which I'm not even touching on. The stuff that was happening to me personally as well, too. But this job thing, this is a real big thing that was going on top of all that. So I had this school stress going on, looking for a place to live, looking for a job, and then, some personal things that were going on as well, too. And, I felt like I was starting to crack, but I just had to keep going on. Now, a lot of people might say, it didn't seem like you were exhibiting this. Maybe I'm making up stories. I'm really not. And the reason why I didn't exhibit any of these symptoms, at least on camera or behind a mic or anything, is because this is the one thing that really brought me enjoyment, that brought me peace, that was something that I could actually come home and enjoy and do. If I wanted to sit down and spend 2 or 3 hours making videos, I was able to do that, and I was able to do it with a smile on my face, because that was the one thing I felt like I had true control over in my life. Because I was able to, record what I want to. If I made a mistake, I go back, delete it, re-edit it. I could re-record it, anything like that. And then I could edit everything to my liking and choose when I wanted to upload anything. I didn't have to, conform to anyone else or anything like that. So really, video editing is what kept me sane. Video editing is what kept me going, and YouTube has been great for that as well too, and I would really want to thank you all for that, for coming out, even if it's occasionally, just watching my videos and all that stuff, because it's been absolutely helpful, and this has been a real stress mediator as well too, so it's been very much appreciated with that. And if I didn't have this, I don't know what I'd be doing. I really don't, because it's great. It's really great when I have nothing to do and I feel like, what, I want to rant about this, I want to talk about a video, I want to talk about a video game, anything like that. There were a lot of things I really couldn't enjoy in life, and it actually got to the point where I was starting to become more reclusive, because see, what ended up happening in late to mid-October, or mid to late October, however you want to say it, a lot of people around me were starting to get jobs. A lot of people around me were starting to get offers. And here I was with nothing. In fact, the unfortunate thing was, there's actually a very good friend of mine. I was happy for him, but I just told some people this, and they were shocked, and some of them also said, you can't think like that. And I know you can't think like this. It's not good to think like this, but when you're in this position, it's so hard not to look at it, in a negative light. I had a good friend of mine, right? And he's still a good friend, but I have a good friend of mine who, he has a lower GPA than me. He does not have any job experience, and he had multiple job offers before I got an offer. Now, granted, on the flip side of this, for the past year or two, I was normally the friend out of everyone who got a job offer and got interviews, pretty quickly and everything. I was pretty stable with that. So this was also all new to me as well, too. I'd experienced failure before. I'd experienced, declines before and everything like that. But it just didn't feel like it was like this to this degree, where everyone was, pretty stable and they knew what to do. Now, of course, I could have moved up, with family or anything, but I would have still had to move to a different city or even a different state. And because of that, that would have caused cause an interim move that was still stressing me out and that I didn't want to do. I wanted just to move straight from the place I am now to the place where my new home is going to be, where my new employer is going to be as well too. But there was also one company that was really coming through for me. And this company, I was actually kind of iffy on at first. And not really iffy like, oh, they're a bad company. It was more iffy like, I don't know if they're that interested in me. Because at the career fair, they had actually been quite interested in me. I felt like I really connected with them. I was able to email them. But a lot of these companies, see, some of them will have an offer to you. You go out for a career fair in September, they'll have an offer to you in October. There are some companies, you go out for a career fair in September, they might get back to you in May, in April, or even in this case, they'll get back to you, in late August or August, no, not late August, excuse me, but late October or November, anything like that. And that's what was going on. So I had to kind of, hit them up a little bit and say, hey, is there anything going on here? And they were looking for a position for me. In fact, when I went up there, they were able to squeeze me in the day I was doing another interview. So I was actually going up to this place to interview for another company, and I interviewed with them very early that morning. I didn't think I did well with that interview, to be honest. I was interviewed with 2 different people, I was in a rush, and I was nervous as well too, and I thought I was failing the questions, but apparently they really liked me, and I don't know what it was. I even talked with, some other people that were affiliated with the university, and they were saying, oh yeah, this is a good company, I'm sure that, they'll hit you up, they'll let you know what's going on, everything like that, and a break finally came. It was right after the release of Fallout 4. I remember that because I bought it for my PC because I was actually traveling for another interview. I traveled down to Texas to interview with a company, and right when I got to the hotel room, my email came in through my phone, and it was this company that I was talking about, and they said, congratulations, we want to let you know that you have been selected for this role right here, and we would like to extend a full-time offer to you. There's going to be another email that will come in here soon that will have the paperwork attached to it, that will have the terms of service attached, and you'll just need to sign that and forward it on to us. But congratulations on your new role. And I was ecstatic. I was happy. I started bouncing off the walls. I was jumping up and down. I started calling people, and that was just an instant stress off me. I even called my dad and I told him, I've been depressed for the past 2 months. And he said, I could tell. I knew it was your voice. I could hear it in your voice, and it was just, I knew what the issue was, but I didn't want to poke and prod at it. And really that was it. That was a big factor, but there were also some other personal factors that went into it as well too, unfortunately. But this was the main big thing because everything else could have been ironed out, and even this could have been ironed out as well too. So what's going on now? Well, by the time I'm putting out this video, I'm going to put it out by the time where all of my grades are in and they're set and I'm good to go. And maybe after I move, so I'm not sure, but it'll definitely be before Christmas that this video comes out. So I might even be moved and situated and ready to go and ready to work, kind of. We'll see what happens, but that's really what's been going on. So what's been going on with, all that, all the side stuff? How's it been affecting me? Well, first off, I became really reclusive. I didn't want to talk to people because, as I said, there was a lot of people that were really successful. They were hitting me up with things, and sometimes it was so bad because there were times where I was at my lowest and I was completely down in the dumps, and everyone was hitting me up and they were saying, hey, I just did this, I just met this person, I just got this is going to happen to me, I just got this offer, and I was like, everything is just, this is not working right. I wish everyone else success, but it felt like it was one of those things. At the time I was my lowest, everyone else was at their at their highest peak and highest point. And it just felt like that sometimes. It was really difficult. With my email, for example, I would actually get mad sometimes if it was over the weekend, anything like that. If I got emails and it was junk mail, or I got text messages, or I got calls and it was from friends or anything like that, I got upset. You know why? I never snapped on anyone, but I got upset because I was hoping that would be a company that was sending me an email, a company that was trying to call me to schedule an interview, anything like that, because I can't decline these interviews. I got to get everyone I can because, as they say, beggars can't be choosers at that point. You just need to latch on to something. And weekends, the times where people want to celebrate and they want to get off their week of work, weekends were the worst to me. You know why? Because when it was Monday through Friday, I knew that my information was being circulated somewhere on an HR representative's desk. I knew that there was a chance that I would be able to, get an offer, get an interview, get any type of contact. But when Saturday and Sunday came around, I knew that those were 2 days where everything was stagnant. And every single day that passed, every single week, every single weekend signified that I was not getting anywhere. It signified that I still had nothing at this point and I was still looking. And one of the worst things, which I told my friend, one of my best friends, after this happened, and she was laughing and she just felt so horrible at the same time. But one of my best friends absolutely loves Christmas. And her thing is, immediately after October, she starts counting down the days until Christmas. And we have a little group chat where we talk about this and everything. But on there, every single day, she would count down the days until Christmas. And every single day, I loathed seeing that number. Because it showed me that I had this many days, but even less to find something, to get somewhere, to get situated. And that's really, I couldn't find joy in things. It was getting really bad. I was becoming, as I said, I was becoming less joyful. Many of my friends were, telling me, like, later on, they didn't want to bring it up while it was happening, but they said, we noticed that you weren't as energetic. You didn't look right. There were things about you weren't laughing as much. And I mostly told people, I'm tired. And that was the truth. I was tired. I felt like I had no energy. I didn't really have much drive to do anything. And that's also what depression can do to you. And what I had was not even that bad. That was kind of frictional, potential unemployment depression. But because of that depression, because of the chemicals in my brain, everything, the way they work, the way it's been scientifically proven, I was just completely out of it many times. There were times, one big thing as well too was even with my personal Facebook on there. I used to post a lot when I was younger. Then I didn't post as much. And it kind of got to the point at one point in October when many people, because I had people that would tell me, hey, I just got this job offer, or people even asked me, hey, how are you doing? And I didn't reply to those people. I wasn't replying to many texts. I wasn't answering back many phone calls. And then even when it came to my Facebook, I said, you know what? I'm not going to post anything on here until I get a job offer. Then I got a job offer. I said, I'm not going to post anything on here until I accept it. Then I accepted. I said, I'm still don't feel like posting anything on here. So I think that was kind of a good and bad thing. At first, it was kind of a drive for me to say, I'm not going to post anything. But then after a few weeks, I said, well, why the hell would I post anything on here? Even I don't post. I rarely post stuff about my YouTube on there. But when I hit 25,000 subscribers, that's something I want to celebrate. And I did not let myself celebrate it because I said, I'm still looking at all this stuff. I'm still failing right now. I'm not doing anything, proper here. I need to get this stuff figured out. Like, screw YouTube right now. And I talked about it a little bit, on my YouTube Facebook page and even on my Twitter as well. And I said, pretty much thank you for 25,000 subscribers. It crept up on me. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. So instead of celebrating, I think I'm just going to keep making videos. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that, but don't worry, we're going to have to plan something for another type of milestone together, so we'll figure out what's going on. But as convoluted as that all sounds, I hope it kind of makes a little bit of sense, and that is what has been going on in my head for the past few months, since August up until now. Pretty much a TLDW of what's happened here. I didn't have a job going into this semester. After a lot of time, I was one of the last people. I got a job. It's a place where I want to live. The place where I'm living at, I'm really happy with. And the role that I wanted, the company I want to work for, the industry I want to work for, and even the pay that I wanted, everything is there. So I think this is a really good sign. And I think it is. And even I even think, honestly, that me not working for the previous two companies again that I had done work for was really a blessing in disguise. I had also, talked this over with my boss as well, too. My now former boss, as of a few minutes ago, here at my university. And she was just, she was so happy but disappointed to see me go. Happy because, I graduated and I was getting a big boy job and everything, but also so sad at the same time because she honestly said that I was her best worker that she had. And granted that the person who's coming after me, I think he'll be good. He's a little bit lazy sometimes, but I think he'll be pretty good. He's one of my friends that I was able to pick out and everything. But still, that's going to be a part of my life that's going to be, kind of closing up there. But I'm happy to see what's going to be going on and to include you guys in it as well, too. And also, I feel like there's going to be some more time for things as well. Yes, I'm going to have to work, my 40 hours a week and everything, but I'm no longer doing school. And one big motivating factor here is now I'm going to do work and I'm going to get paid for it. It's no longer at the point where I have to pay thousands of dollars to do work and get, either super satisfactory or not satisfactory results. Because that's kind of a big demotivator of school, unfortunately, is when you go there, you pay all this money, you spend all this time there in and out of class, and you have to work for your results. While as over at work, when you're in the working field, you are putting in that work and you're getting paid. And personally, I like doing work. I don't like sitting there. I don't like not doing anything. I will be bored out of my skull if I'm doing nothing. And that's actually one reason why some people have asked me personally and on here if I would ever consider doing YouTube full time. I don't think so, to be honest, because if I was doing YouTube full time, I wouldn't have that much reason to leave the house or do much of anything else, and I would be so bored out of my skull. But anyways, I think that's it for this video. This clocking in at about 20 minutes. Let me know what you all think of this, and thank you for sticking by me, and thank you for continuing to stick by me. So let's see, 30,000 subscribers come up. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, anything like that.